say a gent. Slew them and their feelings them a carry. Them done go already and them can't say them sorry. Slew them and their feelings them a carry. You know I them something again. Wait no one to win him. Who them a good that them a try. Them got this king still a say what you all again. Who them a make us see them with themselves. Them this money well and them so gone and hell yeah. Who them a good who them Marcus. Them this Marcus I know them all by it does yeah. Who them a make us tell them to flirt. Tell them can't this from a hurt. You know see a dead man them. Stop it man them and no wish them to find out people them. Them don't condemn a be a dead man.
This seems to be a celebration of Lennox Lewis's Jamaican heritage. Am I right, Jim?
I think you're right. And of course, he can choose from a wide range of heritages to celebrate. The only thing that's missing here is a nod to Canada, the nation for which he won the Olympic gold medal in 1988.
Globalization to the max in heavyweight boxing.
Lennox Lewis has lost only once. The stunning second-round TKO at the hands of Oliver McCall 6 years ago. And the one draw with Evander Holyfield in Madison Square Garden that almost all ringside observers saw as a victory for Lewis. 29 KOs. And the record is not too dissimilar to that of Tua, just the level of competition in the last 2 years, which greatly favors Lewis. Now let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. Main events, Panics Promotions, and your undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser. Always proud to be your bud. In association with America Presents and Lion Promotions present, courtesy of TVKO Pay-Per-View, HBO World Championship Boxing. 12 rounds for the universally recognized, undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The 3 judges assigned to ringside scoring this bout on the 10-point must system are Chuck Jampa, Dave Moretti, and Jerry Roth. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, working for the 135th time in a world title bout, referee Joe Cortez. So now, for the sold-out thousands in attendance here at the Mandalay Bay of Las Vegas, and the millions watching around the world, courtesy of TVKO and HBO, the moment we've all been waiting for has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trimmed with white. He weighed in at 245 pounds and brings an outstanding professional record into the ring consisting of 37 victories, including 32 knockouts with only 1 disputed defeat by decision. From South Auckland, New Zealand, ladies and gentlemen, the universally recognized #1 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, here is Tua-Man David Tua. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white and weighing in at 249 pounds. Since he captured Olympic gold in 1988, his professional record now stands at 37 victories, including 29 by knockout, with only 1 loss and 1 draw. From London, England, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 2-time world champion, the universally recognized, reigning and defending, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis.
All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all time. When I say break, I want you to break clean. I don't want any rough tactics, unnecessary fouling. Understand, guys? Give me good sportsmanlike conduct. And remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch them up.
Hopefully we don't get, if this fight goes to a decision, one of those splits in which the popular vote goes to one fighter and the electoral vote goes to the other.
Get back in your corner.
Nor do we want a George Bush long count. We just want the best two heavyweights in the world to show us what they got.
The referee is trying to establish right now who is the boss. And it's very important that he establish it.
Well, this is the man you call the best referee in the sport, George, so if anybody can do it, he can. Nearly 1,000 Tua supporters flew in from New Zealand, another few hundred from Samoa. Lewis's supporters have come in from England and from Canada. It's a truly international event at the Mandalay Bay Hotel. Lennox begins trying to establish his jab, and Tua leaps forward with a left hook, his trademark punch, to begin the action.
Tua's got to make certain that when he gets him against the rope, he misses him. Don't throw unless your feet are right there too.
Lewis landed his first right cross. The second one was short. Tua has already shown you his great chin.
Lennox Lewis better realize that the best punch in boxing is still the left jab. Don't stop using the jab.
A rare body punch from Lewis.
The body punching is not going to help Lewis because he's going to run into a lot of elbows down there. You want to keep the jab, open up the head.
Tua misses again, leaping in with the left hook. Lewis, who appeared to want to be the aggressor for a few moments at the beginning of the bout, now steps into a more familiar posture. Watch the way Lennox fights as a big man, never giving away his height, never allowing his chin to go past his front knee, the left knee.
One thing good about it, they say keep your hands up at all times. You can't do it if you got to punch downward. So David Tua's best thing is to stay low, so Lennox Lewis' hands are low also. You got to drop them to throw your right hand, as they are now. That right hand is down. Keep it there.
Lennox looks as though he's not even going to try to launch the right until he feels like David is straightened up enough for him to get a shot. If Tua stays low, Lewis seems content to parry him and fend him off with the jab. Tua has landed nothing so far in the first 2 minutes of the fight.
But he is the boss because he's bringing the fight to Lewis, and Lewis is looking and reaching. You want to decide, Lewis should let him know, I am the boss tonight. You back away from me. Take it to him. Same weight.
What about Lewis's tendency to hold his left down around his waist?
Well, he has to because all of his opponents are down there. You can't get a good shot if your hands are by your chin if the opponent is too low.
Early in the round, Tua came steaming out. Lewis hit him with a couple of good punches, and now Tua is being a little bit more careful as he comes in.
And we haven't seen the uppercut yet, which Lennox believes may be the great equalizer when Tua tries to rush it. Finally, David gets a glove on Lennox as he lands a little bit of a left up around the shoulder. Lewis with another body shot. And it was only in the Franz Botha fight, his last defense, that we began to see him even thinking of throwing punches to the body.
You got to land some body punches when you're fighting a puncher because he only can stay strong if you don't. Take some of the air out of the balloon.
It would be hard to give round one to Tua. He landed one punch by my lights.
A virtually perfect round from Lewis's point of view.
You got to please.
Just keep what you're doing. Pretty soon you will kind of move in the right hand. The swing is down there. Keep working. Just keep working. Just what you're doing. You keep it like that. You can't get his rhythm. You're broken down already. Even if you come out of fight, keep working. Pretty soon you bring this before you throw the right hand. Okay? Because you're fighting a good fight. It's funny. All he's shooting just enough. You got it?
Yep. No, I get it.
Listen to me. I'm going to put some in his head. Give me that towel. Give me that towel. You understand? Come on now, let's go. Now listen, the first round is out of the way.
Gotta move that head.
Give me that.
Gotta move that head.
Move that head. Come on, get closer.
Round one, a CompuBox landslide for Lewis. He threw 73 punches. He landed 20 jabs. Tua got credit for 4 of 34 from the CompuBox observers. Round two begins with Lewis sticking the jab, sticking the jab, sticking the jab, sticking the jab. Stick it, stick it, stick it. Tua can't mount an attack as Lewis keeps the left jab in his face. Jab, hold, jab. Rangefinder from Lewis. Tua looking and looking. Lewis just stretching the space and throwing the jab.
Tua's got to do some intimidation, run into him, make him think that, hey, you're a coward, so that he can start throwing right and left. The jab, he can beat him all night with it.
Now David Tua gets a chance to try to begin working Lennox Lewis's body. He got in one punch to the rib cage a moment ago. Right hand from Lewis, not thrown very hard.
Now Lewis is falling into the bad trap. You don't want to drop your hand anywhere near the rope. You're going to drop your hands, make sure you're in the middle of the ring so you have at least 4 steps backwards.
And just as you said that, of course, Tua took advantage and landed a right and a left.
Lewis, Tua is doing his bobbing, he's doing his weaving. Every time that Lewis seems to see something, he takes it away from him. But you got to do something to make Lewis want to fight. There you are. That's the punch that's going to make Lewis decide I'm getting even.
Left hook by Tua. And another left hook by Tua. And a vicious left to the belly. So Tua begins to mount his attack now midway through round two. Lewis with a right hand and a left. David Tua with a little smile on his face. The time-honored symbol between fighters. Oh, you didn't hurt me. Lewis seemed to try to grab Tua and went right on over the top of it.
You see he's doing a good job with his left jab. Don't do anything for a few rounds until you get to know this fella. He hits you, go right back to your left jab. Don't get intimidated. Don't try to pay him back. Lewis.
Tua missing. Lewis popped him quickly with the jab.
Lewis got to make certain it stays a left hand, left jab.
Lennox seems to have regained his concentration, and Tua hits him with the right hand. The Tua supporters in the crowd going wild as Lewis lands a very low blow and gets a proper warning from Joe Cortez.
Remember, Lewis is trying to get away from those elbows, so the blows are going to go low, trying to avoid the elbows.
You're looking at the cautious, tactical Lennox Lewis. This is why he does not arouse the passions of boxing fans in the way that great heavyweight champions might hope to do.
But if he's able to get that jab working, he can excite me. Jab your way. Keep your title with a left jab. If that's the only punch you can land, use it.
Well, what he succeeded in doing in this round is messing up Tua's hair and just landing more punches.
And landing a right hand, which Tua answered with a leaping left as the second round came to a close.
Man, when you get on the ropes, keep your hands up. That's all. That's all. Keep going to your left. Keep going to your left, man. Keep going to your left.
Make sure they'll fight the jab a little bit more before you shoot. But the jab is
all right, let's take a look at a replay, Larry, of what was called a low blow by Joe Cortez.
It appeared to be just below the belt level. Let's see it. But it was, you know, it wasn't that bad of a low blow.
Yeah, that was a low blow, Larry.
But it was low. And at the end of the round, a leaping punch that gets Lewis on the nose.
That was on the nose.
Right on the nose.
The fight is going the way Tua wanted to go. Jab, keep this guy running from you. Keep him running. Make him afraid to throw his right hand.
Lewis in the first 2 rounds averaging 65 punches per round. And despite the fact that round 2 was another lopsided CompuBox round for Lewis, Harold Letterman gave it to Tua, no doubt on the basis of his aggression and that left hook that he landed at the end. That's what will excite the Tua followers as David gets inside and lands a left hook uppercut.
Lennox Lewis should move and keep moving to his left, keeping his jab and making certain that guys have to swing wild to hit him with his left hook. He can do it all night. Move to Tua's right all night and jab. goes to the left, and that's where the trouble starts, right like now.
Good head movement, good shoulder movement by Tua, but he still hasn't been able to get really inside on Lewis where he wants to be.
Well, here's a chance as Lewis backs into a corner and then steps away.
Lewis is doing a good job of keeping his head away from the jab. Let the hand go and the chin stay backwards.
Well, you've always talked, George, about how a big man should fight big, and Lewis, at least in recent years, has been the epitome of that.
He's moving now successfully to Tua's right and jabbing.
So the way to move for Lennox is to his own left, to Tua's right.
And just keep your jab going. When you come back over to that left hand, he's going to interrupt you and it's going to hurt you. There you are. Don't go over on that side. Stay away from that side.
It doesn't take much for Tua's supporters to get overwhelmingly excited. There he's able to land a couple of shots to the body as Lewis moves off the ropes.
Once again, Lewis moves to left. He's got to keep his movement to his right. If you want to clown to his right.
Hard shots to the body, and now Joe Cortez tells Tua to keep him up.
Lewis is doing too much waiting. You throw your shots. You've trained. Don't be conservative. Let him go.
When Lennox Lewis gets into trouble, it's often because he waits and does not stay aggressive with his jab. He threw 65 punches around during the first 2 rounds, and most of them were jabs. But now he's slowing the pace in round 3.
Now Lewis is throwing shots. That's what you want to do. It's a lot easier to throw shots and take the power off of them and be accurate than it is to wait around for a good hard shot.
And now for the first time, Lewis grabs David and holds him. And the Tua crowd boos because they know that their man might be susceptible if Lennox wants to tie him up inside. Outside look at the Las Vegas Strip. A cloudy day has turned clear tonight. Huge crowd in town for the Comdex convention. Biggest weekend of the year in Vegas. And a lot of visitors from overseas for this heavyweight championship fight.
You understand? You hit him on the arm and you hurt him. You understand? Give me some water. Give me some water. Come on, man. Listen. No. Come on, man. Keep using the up jab. The up jab. The right hand to the body, double the hook, and the straight right hand back to the chest. Double the up jab. The right hand to the body. 2 hooks to the top, and the right hand to the chest. Okay? Body shot to the up. Educate.
So when you relax your right hand, he's just about to open to get tagged with a good shot now. Because he doesn't relax. He's just walking in. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Ringside scorer Harold Letterman. How do you have it through the first 3?
Okay, Jim. Well, first of all, let me say this much. At the beginning of the fight, you have to start the fight in the corner. Joe Cortez was right by moving it back into the corners. 28, 29, 29-28, David Tua. 2 rounds to 1, David Tua. I just don't see any snapping Lennox Lewis's left jab. He sticks it out. There's no snapping it. He's not doing no damage. So the damage in rounds 2 and 3 was done by David Tua. Therefore, he won rounds 2 and 3.
Lewis started off aggressive this fight.
I gave 2 of the first 3 rounds to Lewis.
Lewis started out aggressively. That's what you want to do. Make this little guy try to protect himself a little bit. He's making you keep your hand up. Make him keep his hand up and think, I may get hurt.
Break out.
Now Lewis can step in and keep his hands in position without holding. And then he may as well start that now. You don't have to hold. Just step in with your left and then right without holding, and the referee will not rain on your parade.
Lewis threw only 43 punches by CompuBox numbers in the 3rd round. He is so much better, so much more effective when he throws more than 30 jabs and more than 50 or close to 60 punches per round. It's a big difference, though it doesn't sound like much. Crowd booing as Lewis uses the space in this 20-foot Las Vegas ring. The Tua people complained through the course of this week. They thought the ring was too big. It measured out to exactly 20 feet 2 inches, which is right on the nose with Nevada state regulations.
Tua is close. Once you get that close, you got to have your gun already set,
ready to shoot. You just can't decide what to do next. Once Lewis' body touches the back of those ropes, you must throw shots.
George, you said earlier that he's coming to get Lewis's title.
That's right.
I mean, but he's not coming hard enough.
Yeah, but Lewis touches, when he gets into the rope, Tua has to have 5 shots waiting.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. He doesn't seem to be coming after it yet. But he's been known in the past to fight at this pace early in the fight and in the last 3 or 4 rounds to come on very strongly.
You know, and it's strange because he is not close enough to get the right shots off, and his corners better beware of that. They should tell him to get closer. Get closer.
But they still may feel as though their man, with his constant aggression, the body shots, and the fact that he lands more thunderously through the first 3 rounds than Lennox, is winning the fight and is doing what they want him to do.
But in order to throw this punch, that punch, he must be close enough, and that's what he's trying to do. And Lewis is doing a good job of not allowing him to get close. Now, when you miss a big hook like that, that's 5 miles of your road work.
Lennox Lewis isn't doing much.
Now start bringing some of that folks at him a little bit more. But you seem like you're getting comfortable now in the fight. You got your move. And you really treat him like a sparring partner now, which is good. The man is getting tired of you. You're fighting a different fight that he's never used to fighting, a thinking type fight. And all of a sudden start trying to move that folks. He's really right there for you to start cracking on right now if you really want to open up on him.
Fight, you understand me? This guy's champion of the world, you understand me? Don't let this guy be champion of the world no more. Give me a deep breath, you understand? Come on, give me a deep breath. I want both hands moving now. You understand what?
Ronnie Shields seems to be in sync with you, Larry, thinking that Tua might not be doing enough. Here's a sequence of left hooks where Tua misses, and then...
Well, the reason he's not throwing the left hand is frequently enough is because he just can't get there yet. He can't get close enough yet. And also in the first round, Lewis popped him a couple of good right hands.
In round 4 of Lewis's 80 connected punches, 60 were jabs. Tua with an edge of 27-20 in power shots. That's what Harold Letterman was talking about. Been giving Tua the first 3 rounds to David.
Conversely, Lewis seems reluctant to throw his right hand because he doesn't want to give Tua a shot with his left. So consequently, we have this tactical fight right now.
In fact, Lewis considerably more cautious early than you might have expected after the total dominance of his title defense performances against Grant and Botha. But Emanuel Stewart has been saying all along, this is a different kettle of fish. This is an entirely more dangerous opponent. Right hand by Lewis.
I mean, he zeroed in real low because Tua decided to stand straight for a second as he followed him. If you're going to follow a puncher around, you better be hitting him. You just can't follow a puncher around not doing anything.
Lewis leaping on top of Tua and holding him as he found himself in the corner. And there's another right hand that he pops David on the top of the head with.
Now Lewis is finding a certain amount of comfort level that Tua's allowed him to have.
Well, it sure looks like a comfort level at this moment.
He's comfortable now.
When
he's even closer with his left jab than he had been ordinarily. He's getting close with it now. You don't want him to believe that he can get that close to you.
The champion is starting to throw his right hand with much greater frequency here in this round. Tua pops him upstairs with his own right.
If you're going to follow the puncher, hit him. Even if you miss, throw shots. Don't just follow him around. But Lewis is aiming now. He's zeroed in.
George Lewis hasn't used a single uppercut, and it was a hugely effective punch for him, particularly in the second Holyfield fight. Is he waiting to set it up?
Yeah, he's waiting. Tua's moving his head, going duck and dodging. You don't want to hurt your hand, so he's trying to do it accurately. And sometimes if you just throw it, you'll be surprised the punch is there for you.
One of the problems Tua has is that he's throwing one punch at a time. He's not trying to put anything together yet. Some blood coming from
his leg. When he goes to his left, he crosses his legs. He's a sitting duck for a right hand.
There's blood coming from Tua's nose.
Yeah, those jabs have been coming all night.
Lewis looking tactically in control now toward the end of round 5 as David Tua misses, and Lewis pops him with a counter right. Body shots by Tua there. Lewis with a low blow, and then he sticks to it twice with the jab. No warning for Cortez.
Going to the body.
You started to add good different things now. And then beautiful. The shot to the body, did 1-2 back on top, won that round good. You're fighting a masterpiece in a lot of ways. Just keep working what you're doing. You seem to be getting more relaxed with it. And that's what's good about it. And you're really starting to feel just like a good gym workout.
You're winning the rounds clearly.
The body shot was good here. The store making.
We've been working on right here, fighting behind the hook. You understand? Use the up jab. Come on now. Don't give this guy to fight. You understand? The way you fought that guy, you got to get in one and one fight. Come on now, let's go. You got to fight.
You heard Emmanuel Stewart say to Lewis, you were fighting a masterpiece in that round. He makes Lewis miss, and then he makes him pay.
Tua misses.
Hold time.
In round 5, by CompuBox numbers, Lennox Lewis landed 10 of 15 power shots, 16 of 38 jabs. That is indeed a numerically brilliant round. Referee Joe Cortez has called time here, and now he's ready to bring the fighters back out.
Get in that corner. Get in that corner. Hey, get in that corner.
He wants both fighters to go to neutral corners. Let's listen up. It's Nevada State Athletic Commissioner Mark Ratner is overseeing the refastening of the buckles in the blue corner, David Tua's corner. So a little extra rest for both fighters here.
Okay.
1 minute, 1 second.
Does this favor somebody, George?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't favor either guy now, because if Tua had something going, he's lost it. If Lewis has something, he's lost.
Fine. Let's go.
Well, if Tua was counting on...
There you go. You got to be reckless. Lead with your hooks. You can't just decide, I'm going to tactically take the title away from a good champion like this.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine, even though Harold Letterman has Tua ahead on the scorecards, it's really hard to imagine Tua winning a tactical boxing match.
It can't happen.
You feel as though he's got to use his artillery.
And Lewis is throwing that right hand just like a guy on the pitcher's mound. Sitting there and coming off that mound with it. That's what brings in a lot of power that Tua may not have tasted before, because this guy comes from on high with this thing.
Now Lewis back to the round 1 action. Pop, pop, pop with the jab.
David Tua is just looking for the one shot, it appears. I don't know if you can beat Lennox Lewis that way unless you happen to land it square on the jaw.
There was a big feeling, as you were starting to get to a moment ago, Larry, in Tua's camp, that Lewis lacked stamina, and they'd be able to wear him down over a long haul.
Now, Lewis was trying to pay him back. This is the fight Tua wants. Make him try to pay you back and hit you back. Lewis had better stick to his strategy and forget about it being hit that time.
It would appear that if Tua's going to make Lewis's stamina a factor in the fight, he's going to have to step up his activity level.
This was the best left hook that Tua landed in the fight.
You're right, Jim. He hasn't made Lewis work hard enough to be able to take advantage of him in the late fight rounds yet. He's got to start doing it right
Lewis
now.
is shaky, and a lot more shaky than you think.
From the one left hook.
Oh, he had more than one. He allows him to recover.
Tua does.
You can't rely. You hit him hard, you got to throw 2 or 3 wild shots.
Well, that goes back to what Larry said a little while ago, that Tua's landing 1 punch at a time, not in bunches. And Lewis just biding his time, using the Tua's jab there.
Tua's trying to get Lewis back over to his left side. He needs to walk on over to Lewis' left and make him go back over there. Just step over there.
You know, there were concerns that hair might get into Lewis's eyes. It appears to be coming almost down into Tua's own eyes.
As long as there's not any water, they work on him in the middle.
Yeah, but it can be a distraction.
I don't think so.
Look where the hair is.
He's almost probably spars like that all the time.
It does have the beginnings of a sheepdog look, but I tend to side with George. I'm sure Tua's accustomed to it. He's had that hair for the last couple of years.
Once you see him take his glove and move his hair backwards, then you know something's going wrong.
Hadn't happened yet.
David Tua is giving a disappointing performance so far in pursuit of a heavyweight championship.
Really treat it like it's a gym workout now. You start ripping to the body a little bit more now. The boxing beautiful. You got
Doing your rhythm, man.
Now start ripping at him a little bit more. What time is coming?
Desperate.
He's tired. Mentally, he can't get into a flow. You got him all off track.
You are not putting pressure on this guy. You're letting this guy outbox you. You're losing the fight, okay? Now this is the round we got to pick it up. This is your half of the fight. You understand? Look, the second half. Look, it's no fucking tomorrow. You understand? You got to do this shit today. You're not throwing no right hands. You're not throwing combinations. You got to get closer. You got to throw both hands with this guy. Okay? Come on now.
Straight right hand from Lewis. Has no trouble punching downward, George.
No, he picks that head up, jabs it, and the head comes up, and he throws the right hand.
Well, both
Tua better keep his head a little lower, even when he's jabbing. Make him hit your forehead right up top.
Both corners have told their fighters to be more assertive in this round. Let's see what happens.
Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim. 3 rounds apiece, 57-57. I thought Lennox won the first, but David Tua, the hardest shots to win the next 3. Lennox didn't ever let us snap. But certainly, in round 5 and 6, Lennox outboxed him. David trying to move in. Lennox popped him with jabs to decidedly win 5 and 6. So I got it all even. David Tua has to get busy in order to win his fight, as he called it.
I have it 4 rounds to 2 for Lewis.
And Ronnie Shields didn't seem to think that David Tua is even in the fight. He told him in no uncertain terms after round 6, you're losing the fight. They want more activity from Tua.
Yeah, the kind of fight that Tua's fighting, he's losing it. You got to start fighting his fight. Throw shots, get closer. His corner told him once to get closer.
Looking at David Tua here, you find it hard to imagine that against Ike Beabuchi 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, he was in the heavyweight fight, which broke the CompuBox record for most punches thrown in 10 rounds. I guess it's hard to throw a lot of punches against Lennox Lewis.
You know, here's the other thing. We've talked about his weight, George. He was quicker at 225. I don't know if it's a factor here. He's young enough. It shouldn't be, but he doesn't appear to be as quick as he did a couple of years ago.
Larry, it's not the weight. This guy Lewis is moving to Tua's right hand. Moving to his right hand. His left hook, he can't get anything started off of the right side. Want him to move him to his left, and he's jabbing him. That's the problem here.
So that's the reason that a guy who threw 75 punches around against Ibeabuchi is throwing 35 punches around against Lewis.
Lewis jabs him, touches him with his hand, and when Tua looks up, he's too far away. Generally, when a guy hits you, he's close. This time, this guy jabs you, and he's as far away as can be.
Now, this isn't pretty. Boxing fans don't love to see it. They want to see the sustained aggression. But Lennox Lewis showed you in both Holyfield fights that he's perfectly happy to win tonight and look sensational the next time.
Well, why should he go and stand toe-to-toe with the shorter, very strong fighter and give the other fighter his best chance?
Only so that he doesn't have to read in the newspapers tomorrow that he's dull.
You know what? I don't think he cares.
I think he doesn't. I think you're right.
He's fighting the kind of fight that got him here. He's landed most of the big blows in this fight,
including a right hand right there.
Remember, Tua has the puncher's chance. And we said that early on, the puncher, all he has is a punch.
But the puncher is landing one punch at a time, and the boxer is out-commanding him tactically.
Foul, please. Very good fight. More left hooks. I always want to start putting the left hooks, and it's not.
Head down here. All right.
And it's not a danger to get hit when you do it. Start shooting more left hooks. The Ray Robinson look when you saw him knock out the guy. He's perfect for the hook. He's coming in down there and he's getting tired. He's getting frustrated. It's time to sit there and start breaking some left hooks off. You'll catch him with the left hook. You'll be surprised, and you can't get hit if you shoot the hooks and keep your head on the side.
You're not jabbing. You're not doing nothing. You understand? You can't win this fight like that. You understand? You got to get on top of this guy. Get on top of this guy and throw punches with this guy. Now come on now. Hey guys. Get on top. All right, seconds out.
This is not an unfamiliar position for David Tua to be in. In his 4 biggest fights against David Izon, Moskayev, Abeabuchi, and Rahman, he was well behind going into the last third of the fight. So you can't count him out.
That was the second warning from Cortez to Tua for low blows, and a deducted point in a fight like this could be very big. Tua came out of his corner with a vicious combination to the body, and now falls back into the rhythm of following Lewis around and takes another right hand.
Tua's got to get close, and maybe you got to step sometimes. That keeps the right foot too far behind him. Just step on up there. Step on up to the plate.
He's got to get in there and brawl. He's got to get in there and throw punch after punch. He's got to wrestle with Lennox. He's got to throw him around. He's got to try to change the fight dramatically.
He's standing back, most of his weight on his right foot. You got to get closer. Step up in there. Put the feet together.
He's not throwing more than one punch at a time, being tentative, in part because Lewis is out of his range. I mean, it's not because
now he's on the ropes. Jump him.
There you go. Lewis goes in with a right and a left to the body. Cortez watching closely, but I must say, Lennox is taking the body shots without showing any ill effects whatsoever.
Because he's staying right within his rhythm. He's not doing anything that he need not do to cause him to breathe hard.
Now Lennox
he should attack.
He should attack. His own, and Tua leaves him alone, and Lennox steps right back away from it.
You got to establish the distance, and then once you establish it, keep it. Don't let it disappear. Once you get close, you stay close.
Could it be, George, that David Tua is just too afraid of Lennox Lewis's right hand to be himself in there?
No doubt about it, but he's tasted some of that right hand, and he should be afraid.
But Tua has a great chin.
No, but not coming from upstairs. This right hand that Lewis has comes from another direction. It's like dropping a pin from a 20-story building.
There's a long right hand, lands for Lewis right after the jab. Classic 1-2. Lewis hasn't put a three-punch combination together, but by and large, he really hasn't had to. Jab and move, jab and move. Jab, move to the left. Jab, move to the left.
Lewis is not breathing hard. Tua is not putting the pressure on to make him breathe hard. Shakes, bakes, doesn't do anything else.
Fight bears a fair resemblance to the first Evander Holyfield fight in Madison Square Garden. I'll bet you the CompuBox numbers aren't all that different either. Lennox Lewis is giving a boxing lesson to David Tua through 2/3 of this heavyweight championship fight. And the crowd, at least the Tua supporters, aren't happy about it.
If you want to give this guy his title, this is the champion. You understand? This is the champion. You have to take the title. The guy ain't gonna sit down and say, here, David, take the title. You understand?
You're just walking around after it.
You're walking around, you're not doing nothing. You're not winning these rounds. You're so far behind. You need a knockout now. You understand? You need a knockout. You gotta go both.
All right, Joe. Stick it up with the left hand a little bit more. Tip round by the force high. You should stop him. I don't think he can beat him. Mentally, he's drained. He's totally drained. He's going down, makes that little rally.
All right, seconds out.
Before any three-punch combination, you do it. Any three-punch combination.
The chronically placid exterior of the heavyweight champion from Kitchener, Ontario and London, England, Lennox Lewis. And you heard what Ronnie Shields thinks about the fight.
Yeah, this is the point where Tua has always come on in the past in his tough fights. Can he do it here?
Shields couldn't have been any more categorical. He's already telling his fighter after 8 rounds that he needs a knockout to win.
Now, Tua has him up against him. He's not doing a thing. I just can't understand all of the training in the training camps.
Would he have that much fear of Lennox's right hand?
No, he's just at the left jab. He does not want to be hit with that left jab. Who cares? You can't come out of these fights looking pretty. You're going to have to get some scratches on you, and that's the only way you're going to do it with Lewis. You got to sacrifice.
The minutes are passing, and it doesn't appear Tua has a chance of winning a fight like this. He needs
He has the puncher's chance if only he would assert himself. Just go get it.
Well, lots of guys, no shortage. Oliver McCall, Henry Akinwande have gone into the ring with big talk against Lennox Lewis and then have produced nothing. And you have to wonder how many of them have been intimidated by the size and the right hand of the champion. Maybe he doesn't have to do much to win his fights. Whoa! Big combination, and Tua smiles. You know why? Because he was hurt. That's why.
But that's that left hook that Lennox Lewis have added to his repertoire.
Yep.
He finally decided to use it.
If he throws it with consistency, forget it. How are you going to beat him?
Tua's got to be involved. Once those exchanges start, he's got to mix it up. That means Lewis is close enough.
Go! Big left hook for Tua.
Yeah, but it went right into Lewis's glove. Lewis has got that right glove planted to his face. He knows that the left hook is David's virtually his only chance.
It's his only weapon. In fact, I'm thinking of what Lennox said in Free Fight Publicity when he looked at David and said, you know, you've only got one thing that can win you this fight. I've got a whole arsenal. He looks so right now.
Even now, Lewis is pursuing a knockout.
Yeah, I think his confidence is rising minute to minute as he realizes that he's just not going to see this storm of aggression that Tua and his people promised.
Left jab, still the best punch in boxing. As I said earlier, you use a left jab, you can shut down anybody.
This is becoming target practice at this point.
Let her go clean, let her go. Let him go.
Tua's face beginning to swell, just as Holyfield's face swelled in the first fight with Lewis.
You got 3 rounds. You're going out there and trying to hit it with one shot. One punch. You're not doing nothing. Anything. You know? You're going to sit around. No. You're not out of this fight. You know why you're not out of this fight? Because you can punch. You understand? But if you don't use your hands, it's not going to work. You understand?
If you come down and start being loose, start to sit down and start going up here, you're real stiff now. Everything's stiff now. You will see a whole different change.
Larry, let's look at some replays and notably show us again how Lennox blocked David's left hook.
Yeah, well, Lewis has him where he wants him now because David wants to come in, is looking to come in, and Lewis knows it. But here, as you saw, as I said earlier, his right hand is just plastered high because he's going to, if David Tua is going to beat him, he's going to try to make him beat him with something else but the left hook.
That's great.
If a team has a great passing attack or a great running attack, you made them beat you with the passing and vice versa. You take away the strength and challenge them to beat you some other way.
Fighting for the title, you can't be afraid to get knocked out.
And there's the uppercut for the first time, and it wobbles Tua. Lewis landed the right, came back with the uppercut. Best combination of the fight. Tua rolled into the ropes. And there, Lewis gives Tua a chance by getting aggressive, and Tua finally lands a big left hook.
That's what Tua really wants. Although you may get hurt, but you want those exchanges so that you can get yours in too.
Yeah, but he paid a heavy price to get his in.
You must pay that price. Even if you get scratched up, you got to go to the doctor after the fight. Mix it up. Take a chance.
Harold, are you in sync with us yet? What's your score?
Absolutely, Jim. 87-84, 6 rounds to 3. Lennox Lewis. David Tua stopped fighting it basically at the end of round 4, and it's been all Lennox since then.
I wouldn't have it that close. Larry?
Well, I have it 7 rounds to 2. A couple of things we have to bring in there. One is the weight. We don't know how much it's affected him. Another thing is 7 rounds against 4 ordinary or less than ordinary fighters in 2 years as he prepared to fight the heavyweight champion of the world. The third thing is we heard that Tua was unable to spar for the last week of his training because of a body shot that hurt him. I don't know if any of that matters, but what I do know is that this is not the David Tua that we have seen. We have to give Lennox Lewis credit for that.
Do you know for sure that Tua was hurt in sparring?
Well, I didn't see it. I heard it from a pretty good source.
Don't take anything from Lennox Lewis tonight. He's winning this boxing match. And some of you guys said he was not, so you're going to have to come up with stuff. Let the man win the fight. The weight is fine. Everything is fine. He's outboxing this kid. And he's about 30, what, Larry?
35, George.
And I'll tell you what, George, you won't find me saying he's losing. I think the guy is virtually unbeatable because of his tactical command and his physical superiority.
How you go, Tua?
Now, just as I say that, he finally catches a left hook from Tua, but one punch at a time.
Ooh, that right to the body hurt David Tua.
Lennox is hurting him with a lot of punches now. He's getting there. And I think, Larry, of the factors you mentioned, the one that I would isolate is the absence of competition. You can't get ready to fight somebody like this by fighting the kinds of guys Tua fought.
Yeah, they got into the position of mandatory challenger, and they froze the ball for 2 years.
And this is too big a step up. Tua just doesn't look ready for the fight.
Championship.
Yep. Have a crown, baby. Have a crown.
You hurt him over there and you get that crown. Yeah, you caught him with the right hand, but you hurt him with that. Your right hand. If you get more left hooks in the fight, we get this go out of here. The key is your left hook. You're not throwing enough left hooks.
Anything over this guy. You gotta just get in there and you just gotta throw punches.
There's nothing to lose there, mate.
No jab, no nothing. You're not giving me anything. Just give me punches now. Just jump on top of this guy, David. This guy, you can hurt this guy. You understand? George, you got 2 rounds and it's all over with. You understand?
You gotta walk through.
You got 2 fucking rounds. Give it to me.
Have a go, baby. Come on.
You watch that for one punch here.
Land on your feet,
It's
baby.
like you fight a man with one down hand. The man is not going to be doing that much.
Round 10 by CompuBox numbers, a vintage Lennox Lewis round. 33 out of 56, 59%, 19 of 35 jabs. Tua landed 5 of 27 punches. It is becoming a tactical wipeout.
Well, it's a desperation time. You never count a puncher like David Tua completely out.
But he's just desperate. You're right. But I want to say again, guys, don't be afraid to eat crow. Don't come up with excuses. When Muhammad Ali with me, I had a bunch of them, and a lot of people who said I was going to beat him, they came up with excuses. But when you lose, you lose. When you win, same thing.
You're right, George, but we're not coming up with excuses. We're looking for explanations.
There aren't any explanation. When the best man wins, give it to him.
I give it to Lennox Lewis. He's doing it. David Tua is however, very disappointing in the challenge he's making so far.
Hey, listen, for the past few years, to the utter disappointment of a lot of boxing fans and critics, Lennox Lewis is unquestionably the best man. And he's showing it again here, and that's why the crowd is booing. This is not an overwhelmingly popular heavyweight champion, but he might be, for this moment, a virtually unbeatable one.
Well, if there's any boos, it should be for the challenger. He's not done enough to try to take the title.
Lands a good left hook and doesn't do anything after.
One punch at a time. Against a Lennox Lewis, who in terms of his expression, the excitement he's shown, etc., is treating this like a sparring session.
That's what he's doing. That's what the kind of fight you need to fight with a puncher like that. Play game, take it safely. Tua, all he has to do is just dive in with a right hand and throw a left hook with all his might. That's all he has to do. And things can change. He's afraid to take a chance.
He's afraid to take a chance. Even with his trainer urging him and yelling at him round by round, you've got to do it. Jump in there, fire punches, flurry. This is going to be another round in which Tua will throw less than 30 punches.
Lewis has been very good about going to the body also, so Tua will not have the same power in the last round that he ordinarily has.
Well, his problems in the late rounds is he didn't make Lewis work hard enough in the early rounds, George, as we were saying, so that he might wear the older, much bigger guy down.
Jab, right cross, left hook, the beginning of blood under the left eye of Tua. That left eye is beginning to swell shut. Lennox Lewis is just toying with him. Just toying with him.
Pot shot.
Does whatever he wants to do. Right hand, left jab, right hand, right hand. It's all Lennox Lewis as we reach the end of the 11th round. 3 minutes to go for Lewis to hold on to his title again.
ain't over with. But I believe that you're going to finish up short and strong because the man can't do that one thing. You got too many things you can do.
You didn't do any fucking thing, nothing to win this title. You understand? You got one round now, you know? That's it. This is it. Go out there and just give me everything you got. You are a puncher, David. You are a puncher, you understand? You can punch from round one.
On your way to a beautiful motivation right there, but you might even finish the man off this round. Close the showdown. The man can't stop it. He can't make that much.
You can still win this fight. Come on, now give it to me.
David Tua prepared all of his life since he was 8 years old for this chance. He's been disappointing up to now. Can he make it all up in 3 minutes?
Hundreds of fans are streaming for the exits. They've seen enough to know who's going to win the fight, and they've seen enough to know what the 12th round is likely to look like. The 11th was another vintage Lewis round, 33 out of 57, 21 of 45 jobs, Tua threw only 30 punches. Harold, how do you have it going to the 12th?
Okay, Jim, 107, 102, 8 rounds to 3, Lennox Lewis. I mean, this one's a walk in the park. You know, Jim, in rounds 9 and 11, Lennox showed us the 3-punch combination. He's really in his rhythm. Watch for that 3-punch combination, because heavyweights normally can't do that, and Lennox does it beautifully.
I'm just waiting for 2 punches from David Tua.
Well, a lot of people saw this as a possible style preview to Mike Tyson against Lennox Lewis. And I have to assume that Tyson at least would risk more. He would take more chances to try to make it a fight.
There's no doubt about it.
So this is not a style preview to Tyson Lewis because Mike would just be a heck of a lot more rambunctious. There's no way he'd go in there and throw 1 punch at a time the way Tua has. You agree, George? You agree, George? Tyson would be more rambunctious?
This is Lennox Lewis night.
I got you. I'm talking about what comes down the road. This is a foregone conclusion.
This is his night. This is his night.
Well, nowadays they're all his nights. It was his night against Bota. It was his night against Grant. It was his night twice against Holyfield. And it's his night again, clearly, against David Tua. Maybe those people who are filling the exits now are the New Zealanders.
Lennox Lewis could be heavyweight champ of the world for the next 10 years if he so chooses, because he only gets better.
Well, what you're saying, George, really is the first thing that goes in a fighter is not his legs or his reflexes, it's his zeal to fight. It's his will to train and to fight. And he apparently still has that.
He's got it all. He's got the package, and it's lasted a long time.
I'll tell you what else he has. He has calm, he has confidence, he has a balanced
life.
He's
bouncing his leg. This is the 12th round, isn't it?
He's a tremendous athlete.
Bouncing.
There are just no flies on Lennox Lewis, folks. This guy knows how to fight.
And he's still aware that David Tua has this power. Still not taking any chances. He's not a fool.
He has turned Tua's face into a swelling, bloody mask. Jab, jab.
This is really a great fight.
Body shot.
Jabbing and moving. And
this is a lights-out artistic performance by a heavyweight champion who, for the moment, looks impregnable.
David Tua, widely regarded as the second best heavyweight in the world, was reduced to a sparring partner.
Big time. Big time. Here's a replay of the last 15 seconds of the round, which frankly were man against boy.
Jim, I thought David Tua had a serious chance on the assumption that he would be the best he could possibly be for this opportunity. I couldn't have been more wrong.
Yep. Yeah, I told people I thought it would be at least an exciting fight, although it was hard for me to imagine Lennox losing it, but it wasn't that either.
Science again, science.
Science. Science again, he says. Yep. Well, that's right, Lennox. You blinded him with science once again. Lewis closed the show, 31 out of 62, 25 of 50 jabs, Tua threw 29 punches, in another disastrous round. Harold, how'd you have it?
Okay, Jim. 117, 111, 9 rounds to 3, Lennox Lewis. You know, I thought David Tua tried in rounds 2, 3, and 4 when he threw punches. Was aggressive, effective aggressiveness wins rounds. But after the 4th round, he was the aggressive, but not at all effective. Lennox Lewis just outboxed him, you know, and won it on clean punching, and it's all there is to it. In rounds 9 and 11, he showed us beautiful 3-punch combinations. And heavyweights don't do that. The judges see that. And, you know, Lennox, as you called it, was beautiful.
Another nearly immaculate performance by a guy that boxing fans, particularly in America, seem to love to distrust. But it's just hard to imagine who's out there at the moment who would have a good chance to beat him. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Mandalay Bay Resort Casino of Las Vegas, we go to the Budweiser scorecards. Jerry Roth scores the bout 117 to 111. Dave Moretti has it 119 to 109. And Chuck Champa scores it 118 to 110. All for the winner by unanimous decision. And still, the universally recognized, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world from Great Britain, Lennox Lewis.
Okay, we got it. We got it.